Jolene, 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 Jolene. Oh, I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, skin of ivory and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like the breath of spring, your skin is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you.
Good evening, my viewers. I'm very honored tonight to have Joni Blondell with me. Hi, Joni. How are you doing?
Hi, George. Thanks for having me.
And Joni's a local singer, star, songwriter, and producer from the Peekskill area. She lives in Garrison. I've seen her perform in the 4th of July Festival in Peekskill. Fabulous performer. And we just heard Jolene, and I thought it was Dolly Parton singing.
Thank you.
Joni, how did you get started in performing, in the performing arts? I'd like to go back to when you were...
Gonna go way back.
Way
huh?
back. Where are you from originally?
Kentucky. Versailles, Kentucky. A
Versailles.
very small town America.
And did you start performing in grade school?
I did.
Ballet?
My mom has a dance studio in Kentucky that she's had now for, I think this is the 45th anniversary.
45th anniversary.
Of the dance studio. So my sisters and I grew up dancing there, singing, dancing, acting,
What's
and
the
all
name
of that.
of her studio?
It's called Jane's School of Dance.
And you know why that's important? My show not only is on Cablevision, it's on YouTube.
Exactly.
And she will be able to see it. And so will
and all
our
of her
neighbors
students
in Versailles.
and our family.
Versailles,
It's
Kentucky.
spelt like Versailles, but they say Versailles.
Yeah.
Versailles, if
So
you're
you
from
were a
there.
young girl, you started to do ballet.
Tap and jazz. Tap was always my favorite, but I did competitions all over the place, was a competitive dancer, and then decided when I was little that I wanted to do Broadway, and when I was 18, I moved to New York City.
New York City? And did you audition someplace pretty famous there?
I did. So one of my first auditions was for Radio City Music Hall, and that was my first professional job when I was 18.
And you were connected with the Rockettes.
Yes, yes. So I danced in the ensemble with the Rockettes, and my sister also did the same
so you
show.
had two beautiful girls in the family.
My mom
who were
was very
talented.
proud. Yeah, and my other sister dances too. Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah, Megan and Sarah.
Wow. So what was it a big shock for you to come to Times Square from Versailles, Kentucky?
Definitely, because we lived on a farm in Kentucky and life was quiet. So moving to New York City was a huge culture shock, but I really loved it and wanted to be where I could dance and take classes. And I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City.
Wow,
so
that's a pretty famous arts school.
Yes, and so it was a 2-year conservatory for the arts, but I was so eager to finish that I did it in a year and a half.
Wow.
So then before I graduated from AMDA, I had my job at Radio City.
Now, another reason you're here tonight, a big event is coming up in my hometown, and more or less your hometown, too. You live in Garrison, but you have a big stake in Peekskill.
Yes.
You're going to be a producer of a bluegrass music festival.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about
We're
that?
so excited about this, George. It's called Nashskill.
Nashskill,
Nashskill.
not Nashville, but
Not Nashville,
Nashskill.
but Nashskill. So we decided to combine Nashville and Peekskill.
Hey, that's beautiful. I like that.
Make Nashskill.
Nashskill.
Yeah. So basically what we're doing is trying to create more of a Nashville environment in Peekskill.
That would be great.
Yeah, so lots of
Bluegrass sort of country music,
yes.
right?
So lots of great music and great food.
When's this
and
going to take place, Joni?
May 20th
Uh-huh.
from 3 o'clock to midnight.
3 to midnight.
3 to midnight.
Wow.
And we'll have all of these incredible performers. Jim Lauderdale will be
Where's it
coming
going
up.
to take place?
So it's Railroad Avenue, which is between the railroad tracks and Buns and Bourbon and Taco Bar. So we'll shut that whole street down and
It's
essentially
interesting
make
you mentioned Buns and
a
Bourbon
street party.
and Taco
Yeah,
Bar,
yeah.
Taco
Taco
Dive
Dive Bar.
Something else we must reveal tonight. You're the proud wife of Louis Lanza,
Yes.
who's a restaurateur,
Yes.
who has opened several restaurants in Peekskill, and they're very successful from what I hear.
Thank you.
The Hudson Room, the Taco
Dive Bar.
And what's his Buns?
Buns and
I'm
Bourbon.
not familiar. I gotta
Yeah,
go
you
in
got to
there.
get to Buns and Bourbon.
some-
It's a Kentucky-inspired restaurant, so he has a whole wall of 150 different bourbons you can choose from.
Now, I want to hear you have old granddad Kentucky bourbon there.
Old Granddad. I
Is-
don't know
is
if
that
I
still
even know
around?
what that is. I know we have Pappy's,
In
which
the
is
old-
very, very
in the
popular.
old days, there was an old granddad.
I'm going to ask
sure it's
him.
pretty-
If we don't have it, we'll get
I think
it.
it was Kentucky.
We'll get it for you. If we don't have it, we'll get
And
it.
Kentucky's pretty famous for something else coming up this weekend.
Horses.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby will be Saturday. I'll be watching it at Buns and Bourbon.
Do they serve mint juleps there?
I think we'll have some mint juleps for the Derby. I hope so.
You should have.
They
a
better.
In one of your one of the restaurants, they should have a Derby party. See, I've come up with an
Exactly.
idea.
We can all wear hats.
Yeah, women wear beautiful hats,
hats.
and dress up for that day.
Super fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be in Kentucky. I'll be up here.
So that will be May 23rd.
So this will be May 20th. Nashville will be
and
May
who is
20th.
this famous guy here? He looks like
That's-
John Denver, by
That's
the way.
Jim Lauderdale.
And tell me a little bit about him. I don't know him.
He is an amazing singer-songwriter. He works with Blake Shelton. He works with a lot of different, quite famous singer-songwriters, and has created a lot of great tunes himself. So he'll be up here as our headliner. And then we have playing with him Bob Dylan's bass player. He also plays with Diana Krall. His name is Tony Garnier. He was actually very influential in Jim's career, I've lately learned. We have Kenny Kosek, who is the best fiddle player in the Northeast.
Is he better than Daisy Joplin?
You know what? I should say one of the best.
friend of
One of
yours
the best, because we
who's
all know
very
Daisy
good.
Joplin is the
And,
best too.
Yeah, she was on my show, and she's very good.
Yeah.
By the way, I hear she's appearing shortly at the Lincoln Center in the main stage.
Yes, she's doing her show Awakening, and I'll be guest performing.
You will be performing
I
this?
will be there, too.
Wow, I am honored to have two people that I know performing on the main stage in Lincoln
Alice
Center.
Tooley Halstead. We're very excited about the show, and that'll be August 27th.
August 27th, Lincoln Center. Wow.
And I'm going to do.
Everybody better call in for tickets,
Yes,
right?
yes. So I'm going to be doing one of my original tunes for that show, which is called Your Love.
Your Love.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Could we hear a note or two from Your Love? Or
Your love's like holy love, so pure and unconditional.
wow, that sounds great.
Thank you,
Sounds
George.
Great.
Yeah, you gotta come.
Something else. There's a performer you haven't mentioned there who's sitting with me right now.
I will be
hear you-
there.
I hear you're going to be singing a few songs.
I will
that
be
day.
there. I'm going to do some Jolene, a couple Elvis tunes.
Elvis. Let's hear what Elvis songs you're going to do.
That's All Right, Mama.
Oh, that's a beautiful song.
Blue Moon.
You know, Elvis really loved his mama.
He did.
I'm a fan
Aw.
of his when he first started.
Yeah.
He had a song before he became famous called "Oh Mama Loved the Roses," and it's a beautiful
I did
song.
not know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Because I was only a teenager.
See, you're
when-
teaching me. You're teaching me
Well,
about
I
music.
go way back. You know, I like people like Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn,
Dolly.
Dolly. Of
You're a
course,
big Dolly
the
fan.
big Dolly.
I'm
And
doing Jolene at the show.
and a big Crystal Gayle fan. And my wife's name is Gayle, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. I can't wait
She
to meet
has
her.
blue eyes. eyes. But I love that song by her, Don't You Make My Brown Eyes. You should sing that.
You know what? I'm going to sing that for you at some point.
Really?
For you and Gail.
Wow. Wow, maybe our next anniversary or birthday party that we'll have at the
We'll have
Hudson
an
Room.
opportunity. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's a promise now.
Okay.
You're not
Hold me to
teasing
it.
me, are you?
No, I will do it. I've done a few suggested tunes. I like to do
Really?
them. I like it when my friends suggest tunes. Absolutely.
And I love that song by Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You.
Oh yeah, I
You
haven't
have
done
to
that one
sing
yet,
that
but I
one.
do love that
Do you
tune.
need permission to do those songs? Do you have to get...
No, we do as artists do covers, and I think as long as we say I'm doing Dolly's song, or I think the artists actually like it. And the venues, I think, are also paying royalties anyway. There's a certain organization that makes you pay to be able to do the tunes anyway.
So you're truly amazing. You know why? You're multitasking. I know you're a mother of 3 children.
Oh, thank you.
You're a wife, you're a performer, you're a songwriter. How do you do all these things?
I have a really supportive husband. Louis has been very, very
And he's
supportive.
a great guy.
He is a great guy, and I don't think without his help I would be able to do it the way I do. But my boys also are very supportive, and they understand.
I liked seeing them in the 5K run where they all won awards and they ran the whole 5
They
miles.
sure did.
And that was
at
for the
10
American
and 8
Legion.
and 5 years old.
Yeah,
They
and I
sure
think
did.
Louis ran. Were you running in
Louis
it?
ran. You know what? Actually, the youngest one stopped. He petered out about not even halfway through, and so I stopped with him, and we went back and waited for everybody on the finish line. But that was a great
And
race.
Isn't it wonderful, Peekskill, a small town, and how we're rising now? I think a good theme is Peekskill's rising.
Absolutely, and the new slogan is "I believe in Peekskill."
And as you know, I'm working on a song, I Believe in Peekskill, and I'm going to ask you this on the air. When I get it finished, will you record it and I could use it as my opening
100%.
and closing?
Absolutely.
'Cause you
My
know,
pleasure.
We're a small town, we're a friendly town, but we're a town that's on the rise.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of growth coming
A lot has
in.
to do with Louis, by the way, a guy named Louis.
He's doing
I
his
hear
part.
something's big coming up at the Cove very shortly.
Yeah, he's got weddings coming into CP Factoria, which is down at the marina, and the
Right.
space is looking phenomenal. The bridal suite's gorgeous.
Wow,
It's really, really coming together.
right.
So you got to go check it out. Take a look.
Are you performing anywhere locally so people who are watching my show can go see you?
Absolutely. Besides
let's say in the
Nashville
port-
on May 20th, down at Railroad Avenue. And then I'll be at the St. George Winery with Daisy Jopling
Very fine winery.
her show there.
Used to be a church. Did you know that?
on May 24th. I did know that.
Yeah.
I did, and it'll be my first time performing there,
And it's
actually.
in another one of my adopted towns, Yorktown. It's
You
part
love
of
Yorktown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do a cable show also with the Yorktown Road Supervisor. I've done a
Oh, I
couple
didn't
of
know that.
shows with their councilmen.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So I spend a
You
lot of
do
time.
your part.
I spend a lot of time in Yorktown.
Yeah.
I go to Dunkin' Donuts there. I go to the mall and walk. That's how I get my exercise.
You're a
How do
Yorktown
you say
regular.
so nice and slim and trim? What's the secret? What's
I
the
know,
secret?
with my husband being a chef, you would think
Oh, yeah.
that it would be the opposite. But I think it's just chasing after my boys.
Well, that could keep you,
Honestly.
you busy. Yeah.
I think it's stress. No, I like to go to the gym a few times when I can, a few times a week. But if I can't, I like to do yoga at home.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you watch your diet, nutrition.
I
and
do,
all that.
and that's probably the biggest thing. Is we do like to eat healthy, but I like to cheat every now and then. I have
I
to
hear
admit.
Louis' cheese is pretty good. Do you live on a farm
We
or
do.
something? I heard something about Lance's
do.
cheese.
Yeah, we do. We live on a farm, and I've been making goat cheese for his restaurants for the past few
wow.
years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot's been happening with you, but this is a big event.
It sure is. And as a producer, it's my first time doing an outdoor event. of this magnitude. So I'm very excited about it, but I'm not doing it alone. I couldn't do it without Louie and without Ray Wilson of All Creative Entertainment. So those two guys are helping me a lot, as well as Mike Ford.
And again, the location, people may not be familiar what Railroad Avenue is, but it's Riverfront Green and the landing.
So, right. So when you go down towards the train station
in Peekskill,
it won't be all the way down by the water. It'll be over towards the train station.
And I imagine the city's closing down a bunch of streets.
They're closing down Railroad Avenue for sure. I don't know about any of the other ones. They're going to have to make sure that they have access, to get down to the
what
parking.
Would happen if you get thousands of people?
I know. I mean, we thought we would be lucky to get like 200 people to come to this, but I have heard rumor that it's going to be well attended. So we're very excited. And we've got a mechanical bull, as well as an authentic crawfish broil. We've got crawfish coming up from New Orleans. Our friend Craig Borges of New Orleans Seafood Company is helping us out. And all of the proceeds for that will go to Habitat for Humanity.
And you know what? Seafood, you mentioned that. Peekskill could use a good seafood restaurant. Do I see anything on the horizon?
I don't know. We might have to well, the marina down at Charles Point will absolutely have seafood. And then there's always sushi at the Hudson Room.
And isn't the Charles Point a beautiful vantage point on the Hudson?
Unbelievable.
To look out and
sunsets.
See the Bear Mountain Bridge, the sunsets. People don't realize. Please come to Peekskill.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
You meet some friendly people.
Yeah,
there,
and
right?
the view right down at Taco Dive Bar, where the concert's going to be. The
sitting
sunset right there is going to be gorgeous.
A lot of people don't realize we have restaurants where you could sit outside.
And you can do that at Taco Dive Bar.
We closed down North Division Street all summer long.
That's right.
And the restaurants there, it's bands and everything.
Yeah, and more coming. So Louie has a restaurant called the Eagle Saloon, which will be coming in next door to the Hudson Room.
Oh, wow.
So
yes, he's expanding. I read that.
Yeah, more stuff all the time. So we're having a blast in Peekskill.
And you know, that's why I believe in Peekskill. And I think that's a good theme for that song.
It is.
I once lived near Mar-a-Lago, West Palm Beach.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
My wife and I came back to Peekskill because we liked the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So
it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be.
It's a little town. It's good. There's good people.
It has
here
a small
too.
town vibe, but yet it feels very artsy.
Yes.
Lots of culture.
The artists have
It feels
added
more
so
like a
much
tiny
to
New York
Peekskill.
City. Just
yes.
And much more affordable. So if people are looking for a place to live and work, be an artist.
And I hear a lot of millennium-type people are coming to Peekskill.
Yeah, and
now. They're not stopping at Yorktown or Bedford. They're coming to Peekskill.
Yeah, and when I was at the State of the City address, which I had never attended before, they were talking about all of the housing that is going to be happening, and it's just an absolute explosion of wonderful opportunities for people to live and work and play in Peekskill.
And affordable and lower taxes than most of the surrounding communities have.
Exactly.
So Peekskill is on the rise.
It is, and I spend some time in Nashville. I have a place in Nashville also now, and I feel like
Nashville?
You have to go to Nashville, George. It's amazing.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or
Country Music Hall of Fame. But, just music everywhere, amazing food everywhere. And that's what we're trying to bring, that energy to Peekskill.
Crawfish and jambalaya and mint juleps. Is that the kind of food, or is that New Orleans?
That's more in New Orleans and Kentucky. But the food is phenomenal, and all of the great chefs, everybody now is there doing their thing. So we're trying to make Peekskill the Nashville of the North.
Hey, that's a good theme.
I know, which I think
Nashville of the North.
Nobody is going to have a qualm with.
We're going to bring some Kentucky bluegrass with you here, and is it bluegrass or what?
The Nashville Festival, the music.
Yeah.
Well, it is bluegrass, but it's also country and Americana music.
Where did the term bluegrass come from?
Well, bluegrass music actually originated in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, and came more as the folk tunes of, Ireland and England and all of these different countries. But then it also melded with music that was coming from Africa, right? So the banjo and all of that
I like
came
the
from
banjo.
Africa. So it really was an emergence of different cultures and just became a very, very important music genre in Kentucky and around in that area. So I have always loved it and am happy to bring it to Peekskill.
So what does the future look like for Joni Blondell? Performing, songwriting, producing, or
That's a
little
very
bit of
good
all?
question, George.
Writing a book in the future?
Maybe. I have set my sights on singing and songwriting and producing for now. I'm meeting so many amazing musicians and artists, Daisy Jopling, for instance. I'm having a great time working right now with these world-class musicians, and it's making me very, very happy. So I wouldn't want it to be any different right now.
When you appear, do you appear by yourself, or do you have backup groups? You have backup musicians?
It's a little
with you?
different every time, depending
okay.
on what I decide to do. This time, I'm going to actually be borrowing Jim's musicians. So Tony Garnier, Barry Mitterhoff on mandolin, we've got Kenny Kosek on fiddle, and Wes Corbett on banjo, and then I'm going to have Stephanie Purcell, who is a local singer and piano teacher, doing backup vocals. Oh, and John Scholl on
What do you
guitar.
think of the Paramount in Peekskill?
Love the Paramount.
The artists they bring in there, it's fantastic.
George, that theater is magical, and I'm so excited that I have had the opportunity to perform there, and I'm looking forward to performing there again.
You know, we just are opening another one, Dramatic Hall. Have you been in there yet?
Yes!
What do you think of that little theater in there?
I did not know what to expect, and I went in for the fundraiser that they had for the fire, for the victims of the fire.
Right.
That was here in Peekskill, and it was absolutely gorgeous inside. They did such a phenomenal job with that space.
I couldn't believe it. I went in to interview. I had an actress on my show, not well known, but I was given a tour of the place, and when I went up into that theater, I said, "What a magical place this is!"
It really is.
It looked like the 1920s, and balconies there, and people can be served drinks. And,
there's all these different levels where you can, go
great.
upstairs and look down.
It'd be great for a wedding or any kind of
anything
event.
you want to do.
Or for Joni Blondell to
or for a
Joni
Blondell concert or at a party,
A
absolutely.
party,
And I think Daisy has performed there too. It's a beautiful venue.
And people don't know about it. They got to market that more. Maybe I'll help them market
It's
that
a really, really beautiful place, and they put on a really good show there when I was there too.
Really? I missed that one.
It was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. It was really
So
good.
do you enjoy performing?
I love it. I love it. I've always loved it since I was a little kid. I used to get performance anxiety a little bit, and stage fright. That was something I had to really work through, and I actually stopped performing for a while because I had that so badly. But my drive is stronger than the fear, so I just do it anyway.
That's good. That means you really want to do your best, and you're going to do your best.
It's true.
You won't believe this. After 1,000 TV shows and 20 years being
You still
on
get nervous.
TV, before a TV show, I always get nervous. I worry that it won't.
I can't believe that.
Well, it's true.
But I know exactly how it feels because I've performed on Broadway in front of 1,200 people or 1,500 people, and in Peekskill in front of 500 people, I'm even more nervous.
Really?
Yes.
Well, anytime you go on, whether it's 15 people or 50,000 people, you want to do your best.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Like I've seen a singer appears at nursing homes, a local singer, and then I've seen him at big venues on cruises singing, and he'll put on just as good a show as if
That's a pro.
it's 50,000 people.
absolutely.
Do you dream of playing Yankee Stadium someday, or the Meadowlands?
goodness.
Something like Bruce Springsteen?
Absolutely.
What do you think of Bruce Springsteen?
100%. I love Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
I love watching the greats, regardless of, you know, what their style of music is. I really enjoy watching the greats do their thing.
You love music.
I just love music, and I love the craft of artistry involved, performing, songwriting, all the parts, producing.
I find amazing with singers that if they have one hit song,
that's all
they
it
could
takes.
be famous for 50 or 60 years.
I was just talking about that with one of my friends. You know, I have to say, there's another really famous singer who lives in Peekskill. Her name is Francesca Begay. You should look her up.
I'm not familiar with her.
She is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I'll give you my phone number.
But she and I were just talking about that the other night.
She can call me if you recommend that she's good.
Okay, I will. Oh, she's phenomenal.
And Daisy's
She was on the Jay Leno show.
Oh, wow.
In the early 90s.
Really?
I just found that out. Yeah, and I watched it. Phenomenal.
Isn't it something, have you, on these bigger shows, Jay Leno and all the rest, I hear everything is scripted. You're doing this show with me tonight.
No script.
Is there
That's how good you are, George.
Thank you. I got a compliment tonight. But that is amazing.
It's true. You make it easy.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think we're very near the show. Want to give us a couple of notes of Jolene before we close out?
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Wow, tremendous. We have like 3 minutes left. What do you want to say in closing to my vast audience? And let them know how they can contact you once again, and let them know about you.
Absolutely. So we'd love to see all of you on May 20th down at Railroad Avenue
which is at Riverfront Green,
which is
Peekskill.
down by Riverfront Green in Peekskill. We're going to be doing a bluegrass country music festival called Nashskill, and it's going to be from 3 o'clock until midnight. We've got a great lineup. Jim Lauderdale, Chip Taylor, who wrote Angel of the Morning and Wild Thing. I don't know if we talk about that yet. Yeah, he's going to be playing with John Plantagna. We've got Cosmic American Derelicts, Joni Blondell, Brooklyn Bluegrass Collective coming out of Brooklyn. We've got Hot Rod Pacers, Spurs USA, Stephanie Purcell will be on vocals with me, and John Scholl on guitar, Tony Garnier from Bob Dylan's band, Barry Mitterhoff, Kenny Kosek on the fiddle, Wes Corbett on the banjo.
3 in the afternoon till about midnight
yes,
or something?
3 to midnight, and it's free to the public.
Free? Wow,
Yeah,
how can you beat a price like that for those star performers?
I mean, really,
And
literally the
part
best in
of
the world.
Any proceeds that you do collect for anything that goes
yeah, we're
on
sending
will go to
Habitat for Humanity.
You're an angel. You're an angel in the morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
My viewers, this has been Joni Blondell, a Peekskill, New York treasure. Remember, we believe in Peekskill. Come to Peekskill, see her Bluegrass Festival.
Thank you.
Bye, audience.
Thanks, George.
Thank you so
You're
much.
so sweet. Thank you.